Welcome to the Cylab presentation on our CyView database search technology, the search technology that allows your application to see your data. Here we have a sample search screen. Note the area on the left of the screen. These fields are where the search arguments are entered. The drop-downs pointed to are the search options available for each field. And finally, note the right area of the screen is where the query results will be displayed. Now let's run through an example search to demonstrate some of the basic CyView search capabilities. Let's say you're looking up someone with a first name of John, a middle name of Lawrence, and a last name of Paul, but you are not sure of how John or Lawrence is spelled in the database. For the first name field, we'll ensure that the search option is set to inexact and enter John for the criteria. Now we'll enter Lawrence for the middle name and also ensure that the search option is set to inexact. Finally, we'll enter Paul for the last name. We'll set the search option to exact since we're certain of the spelling. Click the search button and note the resulting list of records meeting the specified criterion. The records are provided in sort order of closeness of fit to the specified search criterion. The previous and next buttons may be used to move back and forth through the resulting records. Your best results are at the beginning, and as you move forward through the results, the records match the criteria more loosely. In this example, the CyView solution accessed a database of 220 million records and found all corresponding matches to your request. Let's extend this example even further. Scan the addresses. We can see that 8302 Endigen Road is in the results set. Let's enter Endigen in the address field and ensure that the search option is set to inexact. Click the search button and note that with the additional information, CyView came back with only one record this time. You can also see that except for the last name of Paul, all of the other search arguments did not exactly match, yet CyView found the record you were looking for. This is the power of CyView. If we go back to our initial search screen, let's pay closer attention to the search options to the left of the criteria. There are 5 options available for each criteria field. Exact, the default setting and recommended when the criteria is known. This greatly speeds processing. Inexact, if the criteria is not certain, this will enable the CyView inexact matching. Not allows for negation of criteria. All fields not equal to the criteria specified will be returned. Or can be used for code fields such as zip codes, state codes, etc. Fields containing one or more of the space-separated values in this field will be returned. And finally, wildcard. All fields beginning with the entered criteria will be returned. Note that at least 3 characters must be specified for this field. These options can be set by the user at search time. Where appropriate, feasible, or desired, the options may be set by the developer when a search screen is being developed. We'll address how this is done in a minute, but first let's step through an example using these 5 options. Since we know the first name is John, choose exact as the search option for the first name and enter John in the criteria field. We're not sure if the last name is Paul, Pauline, or Paula, but we know it starts with Paul. So let's use the wildcard search option for this field. Now enter Paul for the criteria. Note that when using the wildcard search option, at least 3 characters must be entered. Click the search button. Note the results. You can click the next and previous buttons to page forward and backward through the results. Now, let's use the CyView inexact matching capability for the address field. Ensure that the search option is inexact for the address field and enter latent for the criteria. Click the search button and note the result set is limited to one page and that the addresses all have some bearing on the pattern latent. To demonstrate the capability to exclude a value from the results, it can be seen that the middle name of Valerie is in the results list. To exclude this value, we'll use the Not search option on the middle name field and enter Valerie as the criteria. Click the search button and note that the record with the middle name of Valerie no longer exists in the results list. Finally, let's use the OR query option on the zip field to limit the results even further. Enter space-separated values 55591, 90106, and 48002 as criteria and press the search button. Note that we now have 3 records in the results list that satisfies all of the search criteria and options entered. There are 3 field types that may be specified by the CyView search screen administrator tool for each search field. Standard, which is the default type, allows for any of the 5 search options just demonstrated to be enabled for each field. Comment, this is used for unstructured text fields and will always be processed as an inexact field. And finally, code. This is used for fields that have discrete known values such as states, department codes, office codes, etc., and will always be processed as an OR field as previously demonstrated. CyView comes with the ability to configure how closely the results match the search criteria for them to be displayed. This can be set by the developer at build time or by the user at runtime. Near exact, the results must be extremely close to the criterion to be displayed. Near approximate, they must be close to the criteria to be displayed. Approximate, the results must be somewhat close to the criterion to be displayed. Loose, somewhat far away from the criteria. And finally, very loose, the results may be very far off from the criteria and still be displayed. CyView comes with the ability to configure the search processing by setting the search depth. There are 5 valid search depths that can be set. Full, all possible search avenues will be explored, and this is the default. Standard, stop processing search when the criteria matches by 80% or more. Moderate, stop processing when criteria matches by 60% or more. Shallow, stop processing with 40%. And very shallow, stop processing when criteria matches by 20% or more. More shallow searches are faster but explore fewer search avenues. Deeper searches are slower but explore more search avenues. Now we've been introduced to the concept of the search depth. Let's see this setting in action. Let's run a query and show the search depth, how the search depth affects the return results. Set the mesh threshold to near approximate. Ensure that the search depth is set to very shallow. Enter Paul for the last name, John for the first name, and set the search option to inexact. enter latent for the address, and set the search option to inexact.